evening. You're just in time for TV47 Weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can send us your feedback at TV47 Kenya across all social media platforms. Our sign language interpreter is Chris Onyango. I am Muthoni Maina. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, starting off, 6 people have been killed in tribal attacks that involved the Samburu and Turkana communities from Isiolo County. According to Isiolo County Commissioner Herman Shambi, the attackers tried to steal livestock, as Andrina Kilemi now reports.
6 people have been killed in a clash pitting 2 pastoralist communities in Buffalo Springs area, Isiolo County. Confirming the incident, Isiolo County Commissioner Herman Shambi said attackers from the Samburu community raided the Turkana territory and tried to steal livestock from Turkana herders who resisted.
Hata kama tunasema Isiolo ni cosmopolitan, lazima tuangalie kwamba watu wako na maeneo yao ya machungaji. Sasa Samburu wamekuwa wanaenda kila mahali, wakaingia ile ya Turkana wakajaribu kuiba ng'ombe. Turkana wakaresist, wakapigana hapo. Ndio Turkana mmoja kama wao na hao Samburu 5.
5 attackers from the Samburu side and 1 herder were killed during the shootout. Shambi has asked various pastoralist communities in Isiolo County to respect each other's grazing zones to avert further flare-up. Andrina Kilemi, TV47.
Now, from tribal clashes to Mount Kenya, where National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi has once again defended his recent coronation as the Gema spokesman. Muturi says his main mission is to unite the vote-rich region, as Mike Kagwongo now reports.
Speaking at ACK St. Luke's, Kenya, Jero in Kangema constituency, Murang'a County, which was celebrating its 50th anniversary, Muturi said his mission is uniting the region before making any other plans.
As long as you are constructive in your criticism of him, he will let you do your bit. As long as you are constructive. Wende endelea na shughuli zako. Saa zingine some of it is idle criticism.
Pali unaona tukipotea hata kama mtu ni wa hii side ama ile nyingine, wewe utaweza kutushikanisha sisi wote kwa sababu umoja ni nguvu. Na hatutaki mtu yeyote yakuje hapa Mount Kenya atutenganishe.
On Saturday, several leaders, among them governors and MPs who met in Kieni, hit out at Muturi dismissing his newfound spokesman role. CS Peter Munya, Kirenyaga Governor Anne Waigoro, and her Murang'a counterpart Mwagiwairia appeared rattled by Muturi's elevation as they hurled jibes at him. But the speaker has called on all the leaders from the region to forget their differences and seek the unity of Mount Kenya.
But appreciating that charity must begin at home. So we must have that peace and unity.
Kieni MP Kanini Kega, who accompanied Muturi, said the divisions in the region might cost it dearly come 2022, adding that the leaders have to propose to work together and deliver a win in the forthcoming general elections.
Tushikane pamoja, tutakapotoa ushindi, basi tutakuwa tunasema sisi kama jamii ya Mlima Kenya tutakuwa tukiwa kitu kimoja.
Several leaders from Mount Kenya East have proposed Governor Kiraitu Murungi to take over after President Uhuru Kenyatta's reign. For TV47, Mike Kagwongo.
An initiative of Kama.
On that stand of unity, still on political matters, ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi now says it will be hard to revive the National Super Alliance, NASA. Mudavadi's sentiments come just days after his co-principals in the coalition, Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka, hinted of a possible revival of NASA. Mariam Wacharo reports from Mombasa.
Speaking at the PAG church in Likoni, Mombasa County, ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi pointed out a lack of trust within the NASA coalition. Mudavadi says NASA is already dead and might not be revived.
There is a serious deficit of trust in the NASA arrangement. Very serious deficit of trust. In fact, maybe it is irredeemable.
On Friday, ODM boss Raila Odinga and his Wiper counterpart Kalonzo Musyoka hinted at a possible revival of the coalition in a bid for the country's top job in 2022. Odinga and Kalonzo hinting of working together once again to front a presidential candidate.
We have, of course, NASA. Hatuja tupilia mbali NASA. Technically, it is there. I had our brothers in ODM wakisema when we had that by-election in Kibera, wakisema Secretary General wasema imekwisha. Kabla ya mimi na Raila na Musalia na Weta kusema na mashinani governor kusema NASA imekwisha, haijakwisha.
Yale tulikuwa tumekubaliana, sharing of revenue resources, it has never been implemented. When it comes to how we were to work as parliamentary committees, mumesikia, principles of NASA were being removed. Removed from committees. Members of parliament being denied committees because they have taken a different stand.
Mudavadi has been on a political tour of the Coast region, a region he says he is open to working with. Mudavadi, however, claiming that mistrust within the coalition that challenged the Jubilee government in 2017 is the biggest hindrance in reviving NASA.
Hii agenda ya narrative ambayo inazungushwa every time wanasema, are you ready to work with X? Can you work with Y? Why don't you ever ask that X, is he ready to work with me? Don't try and create a narrative which is being spun.
Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu challenged Kalonzo and Raila to craft an alliance similar to the 2002 National Rainbow Coalition as the only strategy to beat Deputy President William Ruto.
Unajua NASA imekuwa kama ile ndoa, abusive marriage. Ile ndoa ambayo bwana anakupiga, anakunyima chakula, anakutukana. Mliona hata mimi nilikuwa deputy speaker, deputy minority leader katika NASA. Wakanitoa kama deputy minority leader. Mkaona paka Wetangula alikuwa minority leader, wakamtoa. Hata zile pesa kidogo tunapata kama NASA, ODM wamekatilia, hao ndio wanapata peke yao. Sisi tumesema we are no longer interested with a coalition that is abusive, with a marriage that is abusive. Hiyo ndoa ya NASA imekwisha ladha. Hatuna haja nayo. We want to find new partners.
Mudavadi, Kalonzo, KANU Chairman Gideon Moi and Ford Kenya Party leader Moses Wetangula have been pushing for a coalition. The leaders who had accompanied Mudavadi also faulted President Uhuru Kenyatta's decision to appoint 34 judges out of 41 who had been proposed by the Judicial Service Commission.
President fails to know, to understand what it means to respect the rule of law. Na uongozi mzuri lazima uanzie kwake. Sasa tunataka ifanyike hivi. President kama ameona kwa mfano kuna makosa kwa wale judges ambao walipendekezwa kuwa among the 41. One died, we were left with 40. Amechukua 34, amewacha 6. Na katiba inasema yeye akipata pendekezo kutoka kwa JSC inafaa atekeleze. Kazi yake ni kutekeleza, kazi yake si kuuliza maswali tena.
Mudavadi had been on a 2-day tour to the Coast region. Mariam Wacharo, TV47, Mombasa County.
Indeed, those are some of the political sentiments said there by Mudavadi and his core principles. Thank you so much, Mario Macharo, for that report. Now, moving on, the Albinism Society of Kenya, ASK, faulted the move by the government to reduce the budget allocation for persons living with disabilities in the country. Those living with albinism joined the world in marking the 6th International Albinism Awareness Day. Lakshon Laban with the details.
Led by the chairman Isaac Mwaura, the society decried the budget cut, which they say it will interfere with the operations.
Na ndio tunasema kwamba serikali imepunguza fedha za watu wenye albinism kutoka milioni 100 mpaka milioni 50. Na kwa ujumla bajeti ya watu wenye ulemavu kutoka na shilingi robo bilioni 250 million.
Therefore, cutting the amount allocated to the program by half is going to the more detrimental to the program by half.
Among the challenges facing them include stigma, in which they were initially perceived as coronavirus spreaders.
Persons with albinism are called to be the coronavirus carriers, where they spread across the world, of which that is just but mentioning. We are persons who live like any other persons, and we don't carry the virus.
The society has raised their voice on the killing of people living with albinism locally and from other countries such as Tanzania, Malawi and Zambia for ritual purposes.
A month ago, the albinism community in Kenya was angered by an incident that took place in Zambia when armed men forced their way into a house where a family of a child of a tender year was living. They did this and ended up cutting the hand of the 2-year-old child with albinism for ritual purposes.
Hivi kwamba watu wanafikiri kwamba wakitumia miili yetu wanaweza kujitajirisha, na ilhali watu wengi hapa hawajatoka katika familia ambazo zina nguvu, sio? Kwa hiyo ni jambo ambalo lazima tuendelee kukabiliana nalo.
According to the 2019 population census, there are over 9,000 people living with the albinism in Kenya, meaning there is 1 in every 4,000 people living with this condition.
It is true that we have recently witnessed unwarranted and unsolicited attacks in the political arena by leaders whose worldview on us remains traditional and backward. Of particular mention are one Junet Mohammed and David Murathe. They and those who are like them or think like them or follow them have demonstrated a very high level of ignorance and backward thinking.
Evelyn Akot is the mother of the child living with the albinism, and they tell me of the 20 years that Delvin Obara has lived with this condition.
Na kwa wazazi wenye wako na watoto kama hawa, I think it starts inaanza na mzazi. Ukipenda mtoto ukimappreciate, hivyo ndo society itambeba, itamchukulia.
Ni mamangu alikuwa na challenge sababu ajai experience mtoto kama mimi tena, but I thank my mom cause alikubali na akakubali kunilea despite zile challenges, discriminations zenye nilikuwa napata nikiwa day school. Alivumilia.
Let's continue to stand strong beyond all odds. Be yourself and never allow others to define you. Do not allow people to use their lenses to tell you who you are or to see yourself through their eyes.
June 13 was approved by the United Nations Human Rights Council in 2015 as part of the efforts to fight for the rights of the people living with albinism. Lakshon Laban, TV47.
Indeed, as they struggle for recognition, they are indeed strong beyond all odds. Now, moving on, police in Naivasha have arrested a key suspect linked to a number of criminal activities in the area. Willie Dennis Njiru reports from Naivasha.
32-year-old Samuel Mwaniki Waringa has been a man on the run and sought by the police since August of 2020. Posters bearing his image as a wanted man spread across the region. Today, the police managed to arrest him from his hideout in Mai Mahiu town after committing crimes in the wee hours of the morning at Kayole Estate in Naivasha.
Wamefuata huyu mtu mpaka Mai Mahiu na wamemtoa Mai Mahiu. Na kufika hapa already amekuwa identified na zile bomba alifamia.
Mtu alikuja akafungua mlango. Akaniambia ati nikuje nitane huko kwa nyumba kubwa au kuja wafungue wa nini, kuja aibe.
Ile kwenda kufungua mlango nikachungulia, nikaona wako na mtu mwingine na alikuwa amebeba kimti, so sikufungua.
Locals flocked at this Kayole police post to have a glimpse of him baying for his blood on his criminal accounts.
Vitu ziko hapa zimejaa. This is a mandara. Ukiona ile michara anatumia ametengeneza kama buduki. Akikurega hivi hawezi akamisi. Hata siwezi sema nini, mpaka bagi, tobacco. Huyu ni devil. Real devil.
Seemingly unbowed by the pelting noise from the irate public, Mwaniki camouflaged remorseful. He would even demonstrate dressing his head mask that many of his victims have linked him with.
Niliibiwa ng'ombe usiku, alafu nikakuja nikaripoti kwa polisi, nikapigia chief wa area, akaniambia kuna ng'ombe zimepatikana.
Electronics ranging from flat screens, laptops and mobile phones were recovered by the police. Other goods that were recovered include cannabis sativa, crude weapons, SIM cards, car keys, among others.
Sisi tunataka haki itendeke. Na wale watu, zile bomba huyu jamaa ameigia, kama uko karibu na unanisikia, ni vizuri utokee, uje mtabue kama hawa wametokea.
The victims among those that arrived here following the arrest positively identified him, notwithstanding the tale of their horrifying encounter with the suspect. Part of the recovered goods also reclaimed by their bona fide owners.
Aniingia kwa nyumba, kanipata kwa nyumba, nilikuwa na mtoto mdogo and I was still pregnant. So venye alinipata kwa nyumba, nikapiga nduru. At first venye nilimpigia nduru akanigonga hapa, then venye aliona hajanikata akanichukua mkono akakata. Then after that, due to shock, nilipata early labor because the baby was 7 months, but alipass.
There has been sporadic attacks in the area, with several rape cases going to the police records, where victims have positively linked the suspect to the assaults. Police were forced to lobby tear gas to disperse the charging crowd that had vowed to take the law into their hands, attempting to block the transfer of the suspect to the Naivasha police station, where he is being held amidst finalizing investigations before he is arraigned in court next week. For TV47 from Naivasha in Nakuru County, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
Such a gut-wrenching report there, and justice has been served for the residents of Naivasha. Now that story takes us for a short break. We will be right back with more. Just stay with us.
Agriculture being the engine of economic growth in Kenya. Richer Fields aims to educate, entertain, and take you round the world of Rich Fields when it comes to matters agriculture and agribusiness.
It's 800 shillings per kg. Where? Almost 100% profit.
We take you to the world of organic living.
Some people say organic is boring. It's actually not boring.
Strawberry farming and so much more. Richer Fields coming soon on TV47. On the Grind, we bring you different entrepreneurs who give the story of their businesses with love and passion.
I'm a musician forever. This is something that is inborn.
It excites me each day. It's a field that has always excited me.
Because when you show love to your business, it will show love to you.
The most rewarding bit of being a photographer is seeing a bride able to see her images of her wedding and evoke emotion in her and just relive the moment once again.
Get to hear these stories and so much more every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Pain, discomfort, and sleepless nights. These are just but a few of the things we go through on a daily that deteriorate our health. Body Garage is here to remind you on how to love and care for your body's health.
Finding our balance. Don't worry,
you'll finally come back again.
Self-care and love is the best gift you can give. Tune in.
Welcome back. Now, Jubilee Party has launched its campaign in Kiambaa constituency, drumming up support for its candidate, Karire Njama. Meanwhile, DP William Ruto's UDA continued with its campaigns, traversing the constituency, as Paul Kirobi now reports.
The Jubilee Party has officially launched its campaign hoping to retain the seat which fell vacant following the death of Paul Koinange early this year. President Uhuru Kenyatta's party facing his deputy allied UDA that has fronted Njuguna Wanjiku. The two parties have been traversing the area as campaigns for the by-election gathers momentum. The Jubilee campaign were led by the National Assembly Majority Leader Amos Kimunya in various parts of Kiambaa.
Vile tumeona hapa, vile nilikuwa hapa jana, vile niliona jana, nina imani kwamba watu wa Kiambaa wataamua vilivyo na wataamua kupigia candidate wa Jubilee katika uchaguzi ujao.
What I will tell you, God and the people of Kenya gave us power. Don't say no to power. Don't say no to Uhuru Kenyatta Muigai.
8 candidates were cleared to run by the Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission IEBC. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, still on matters politics, with less than 13 months to the 2022 general elections, succession plans are already brewing in the Mount Kenya region. But with no apparent heir to the throne, and with President Uhuru Kenyatta reluctant to pick a successor, the region has been left on its own. Several leaders have declared their interest to succeed President Kenyatta. But according to political pundits, the Nyeri consultation meeting could just be the beginning of a plot to divide the vote-rich region that could hand over the presidency to President Kenyatta's handshake co-principal, Raila Odinga.
When a section of leaders from the Mount Kenya region allied to President Uhuru Kenyatta met at a hotel in Nyeri on Saturday, succession plans topped the agenda.
And we are not only working as a team because of the general elections that are likely to be forthcoming soon, but also to look at the way forward. Which other communities can we work with in this country?
But with the mountain split into two following the coronation of National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi, as the region's spokesman, President Kenyatta's political backyard is not done with the presidency just yet.
The question of who becomes the next kingpin of Mount Kenya region will be decided on the 8th of August, on the 9th of August, 2022. Because at the end of the day, people will align. We shall look at your support. How many people have supported you? How many members of parliament do you have? The influence that you wield amongst your people.
We are in a transition phase. We are transiting from the presidency of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the president we have supported for 10 years. We love him, we cherish him, and he shall forever remain our kingpin. However, it does not break anybody's bone if we sit together and form a coalition around an idea whose time has come. We must come together and be in our political party.
Several leaders from the vote-rich region are said to be eyeing the Harambee House office. They include Governors Anne Waiguru of Kirinyaga and Mwangi wa Iria of Murang'a, and Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya, former Kiambu Governor William Kabogo, former Gatanga Legislator Peter Kenneth, and National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi.
As we bargain for positions in the next government, I think it's not good to pretend. We'll be putting in our blueprint as a Mount Kenya region, and we'll be negotiating with those who are of like minds with us on how to achieve our economic agenda, whether it is our tea, our potatoes, our coffee, our milk, our pyrethrum, our avocados. We are the agricultural county, so we like to form a government that is pro-agriculture and pro-youth.
So the main thing is what policies are being advanced.
and how protective are those policies to the interests of every Kenyan. So if the people in Mount Kenya think that the certain policies are better for them, and if they can be assured that they will not be fixed or messed up, who will become the vice president or deputy president is an irrelevancy as far as I'm concerned, because we have seen it before. It has not worked.
Several leaders eyeing the top seat, including Deputy President William Ruto, have been scrambling to get a portion of the mountain's votes.
As a community, we have the highest number of votes. We have a huge block, which cannot be ignored. Number two is that we are not requesting for deputy presidency from anybody. It is those who feel that our vote is important for them to come look for us.
Ruto's hustler narrative and growing influence in Mount Kenya is said to have pressed the political landmines, and while the handshake between Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga is largely perceived to be Odinga's political vehicle to State House in 2022, pundits believe that the mountain search for Kenyatta's replacement is a choreographed plan to reduce Ruto's Mount Kenya vote count in the ballot next year.
We have also said that nobody stops any person from aspiring for whichever position, whether the presidency, whichever position from our region, and we will encourage as many as possible, because we know that finally we have to be on that negotiating table for 2022. We cannot negotiate when we are out. We have to negotiate when we are inside.
Nimechoka na siasa ya umbwa na paka. Even dog is important when you are hunting. It should also be important when you are eating. We have supported Europe for 10. Let I not hear of another candidate.
We have stood with you people for a very long time. If you find now Muturi does not fit, si kumutusi na kumudharau na nini, sababu natudharau sisi zote, lakini yale madharau munaonyesha, my friends, we are not going to be together. Hii haitaendelea tena. Wacha kama ni kupasuka ipasuke, watu waende kivyao.
If Uhuru were to endorse Raila directly, it would not be received well on the mountain. Even the few people who are still with Uhuru are likely to join those with Ruto in opposing Raila. So I don't see Uhuru doing it directly. What they will do, they will play games. And I'm telling you, like playing east and west of the mount is one of those games. So, because the intention of the handshake, Uhuru's intention, if I read the situation properly, is not to turn all the Kikuyus from Ruto to Raila. It's just to hive off a bit of that. Because Ruto requires almost the entire Mount Kenya region to add on his Rift Valley vote to be able to make it to State House.
Yes, people are trying to jostle. The people are looking for jobs for themselves in the name of communities. Kikuyu is voting one way. No such a thing. Or all the Kalenjins voting the other way. No such a thing. It's never happened and it will not happen.
In 2013, President Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto on a joint Jubilee ticket garnered over 6.1 million votes. But having fallen out with Kenyatta, and if he will be able to command an average of 3.3 million Rift Valley votes, Ruto would need at least half of the mountain's 5.3 million votes to make it to State House next year.
Jamii ya Gema ni jamii kubwa. Kwa hivyo hata kisiasa, kwa mfano, ukiangalia kura za Gema, tuona kwamba ni kura nyingi.
So any person thinking to come and negotiate with Mount Kenya, thinking that he will fragment Mount Kenya will negotiate as a common team. Mount Kenya will negotiate as a team.
So all that you'll need to damage Ruto is to get like 30% of Mount Kenya vote. And I think that's what Uhuru is targeting.
Even if you look at the figures right now, the discussions right now, it does not make sense. I'll give you a little scenario. If people are voting that ethnic calculations, there is no way Uhuru would have won. No way. Kibaki would not have won in 2007, which he did. No way he would have won. especially when there was 40 against 1. And he still won, fairly. Very narrow, but why? Because it was not the mountain votes. It was the national vote that really came to his aid.
Odinga and Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, who on Friday revealed their plans to work together in 2022, garnered a cumulative 5.3 million votes, 1.2 million votes shy of the cutoff.
Na nyinyi mkikaa hapo mnajua hakuna mmoja wetu peke yake
sana all those 10 years ya kung'ang'ana bila kuogopa.
Mkiona wale wenzetu wameanza kuingiza maji kwa tumbo, nilisikia wao jana wakisema wasipoungana huyu hasla atawanyorosha mapema asubuhi. So wanajaribu kuungana. Na mimi nataka niwaambie hiyo safari ya kuungana ni mzuri. Na wakati wanapoungana, sisi tunaunda chama ambaye itabeba wananchi wote wa Kenya. Mimi nawatakia pia, kama wataendelea kuwa na chama ya kabila hii na chama ya kona ile na chama ya kona ile, mambo yao bado itakwama.
A presidential backing for the duo from Kenyatta, who has hinted at not picking a successor from Mount Kenya, would present Ruto with a headache in the runoff. Pundits argue that Ruto, who has begun a campaign offensive in the diaspora, could leverage the over 5 million new voters expected to be added to the voting register before the 2022 polls.
So yes, there's nothing wrong with having a large chunk of votes looking as if they are ready, they are there for you. But there's no guarantee that they'll be there. And even if they are there, you combine. Yeah? Now we don't know what the numbers will be next year because there has to be a registration, so that to capture the 5 or so million new voters who could not vote 5 years ago because they were underage. Now they are of age and they have to be taken into account. Now the numbers might go to about 24, 25 million. So if you assume that the Kalenjins and the Mount Kenya together 11 million, that's an assumption, which is wrong. And that they vote one way, which is wrong. It's still less than
Musa Salah, TV 47.
Indeed, a lot is brewing right there in the Mount Kenya region as several leaders from the region are eyeing their top seat. Also, the region is putting into consideration on all the possibilities that are brought to the table so as to hold on to that. Such an informative, detailed report there from Musa Salah. Now let's take another short break. We will be right back.
Agriculture being the engine of economic growth in Kenya, Richer Fields aims to educate, entertain, and take you round the world of rich fields when it comes to matters agriculture and agribusiness.
It's 800 shillings per kg. Where? Almost 100% profit.
We take you to the world of organic living.
Some people say organic is boring. It's actually not boring.
Strawberry farming and so much more. Richer Fields coming soon on TV 47. On the Grind, we bring you different entrepreneurs who give the story of their businesses with love and passion.
I'm a musician forever. This is something that is inborn.
It excites me each day. It's a field that has always excited me.
Because when you show love to your business, it will show love to you.
The most rewarding bit of being a photographer is is seeing a bride able to see her images of her wedding and evoke emotion in her and just relive the moment once again.
Get to hear these stories and so much more every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Pain, discomfort, and sleepless nights. These are just but a few of the things we go through on a daily that deteriorate our health. Body Garage is here to remind you on how to love and care for your body's health.
Finding our balance. Don't worry, you'll finally come back again.
Self-care and love is the best gift you can give. Tune in every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. On Coffee with Movie, we bring you great testimonies from amazing personalities.
Mwanzo wa kwanza alikaa ndani ilikuwa intense cause alikuwa yeye alikuwa atafuta place atawaka afanye thesis zake.
Stories that will inspire and encourage you.
Hiyo kitu ilisha wasio ni clap. Sheila told us this is what we've been looking for.
And some that will even make you laugh out loud.
You have chapa kawa ya kutuliza temperature kabla hiyo story.
Nawe hukuleta mandazi bro.
Mbona ingekuwa coffee and mandazi?
Make sure you catch the episodes of Coffee with Movie every Sunday at 8 p.m. Love is friendship that has caught fire. It is the month of love.
When you're loved truly, every grain of your personality changes. Ooh.
A great time to add more fire to your love life.
Why not have a journey before the climax rather than always thinking about the climax?
With great insights from our panelists.
It ought to start during the day. Ikifika pale jioni, sasa flirting ndio inafika kilele. Yeah, that is when now you go for your beautiful dress.
And spice to your relationship. Only on the Garden of Eden. Every Wednesday from Agriculture being the engine of economic growth in Kenya, Richer Fields aims to educate, entertain, and take you round the world of rich fields when it comes to matters agriculture and agribusiness.
It's 800 shillings per kg.
Where?
Almost 100% profit.
We take you to the world of organic living.
Some people say organic is boring. It's actually not boring.
Strawberry farming and so much more. Richer Fields coming soon on TV 47. On the Grind, we bring you different entrepreneurs who give the story of their businesses with love and passion.
I'm a musician forever. This is something that is inborn.
It excites me each day. It's a field that has always excited me.
Because when you show love to your business, it will show love to you.
The most rewarding bit of being a photographer is
Welcome back to the broadcast now with news. Justin Benjamin Netanyahu, who has lost his 12-year hold on power in Israel after the country's parliament voted in a new coalition government, a new government of change will be led by right-wing nationalist Naftali Bennett of the Yamina Party. He will lead an unprecedented coalition of parties which was approved with a razor-thin majority of 60-59. Bennett will be Prime Minister until September 2023 as part of a power-sharing deal. He will then hand power over to Yair Lapid, leader of the centrist Yesh Atid for a further 2 years. Netanyahu, Israel's longest-serving leader who has dominated its political landscape for years, will remain head of the right-wing Likud party and become leader of the opposition. Now with the news just in, Benjamin Netanyahu has lost his 12-year hold on power in Israel after the country's parliament voted in a new coalition government. A new government of change will be led by right-wing nationalist Naftali Bennett of the Yamina party. He will lead an unprecedented coalition of parties which was approved with a razor-thin majority of 60-59. Bennett will be Prime Minister until September 2023 as part of a power-sharing deal. He will then hand power over to Yair Lapid, leader of the centrist Yesh Atid, for a further 2 years. Netanyahu, Israel's longest-serving leader who has dominated its political landscape for years, will remain head of the right-wing Likud party and become leader of the opposition. Now moving on, only 40% of learners who don't attain university entry in Trans Nzoia join vocational training institutions despite budgetary allocations by the county government. Boniface Barasa has the details.
These are tens of youths who sat for the 2020 KCSE examination, gathered at the Catholic Church Social Hall in Kiminini Sub-County to get insights from the stakeholders in the education sector on how to reverse the trend.
We want young people to take up their future. Vijana wenyewe wachukue future yao katika mikono yao. Ndio maana leo tunawaambia unaweza enda TVET, unaweza enda college ukasoma, ukiwa ulipata D+, hata kama uliachia class 8 na labda fees ikakosekana, you can go to a TVET ufanye plumbing, ukafanya building and construction na ukakue mtu.
During the forum, it emerged that negative misconceptions still undermine the enrollment at the vocational centers, which are deemed to be centers for failures.
As a county, we are still low because we are close to around 30 to 40%. The enrollment is still extremely low. Why? Because of that particular perception that vocational training centers are not good places.
Participants were encouraged to take up courses offered at the institutions to acquire various skills useful in the industrialization agenda.
The statistics that actually we have, over 600,000 will be missing. The intake to get into the university. But you realize that actually the point we are missing as Kenyans, and maybe the institution at large, is that we are not actually equipping our students with the technical skills that actually they need to have, so that actually we'll be able actually to fix the issue of jobs.
Now that the results are out, we encourage them to join these institutions because they offer courses that have a very high rate of employability. And the good thing with TVET institutions is when you start at TVET level, you can still go higher. You can get your degree, you can get your master's, and you can even end up with a PhD.
There are also calls to boost budgetary allocations within the sector to make it more efficient.
Let's allocate more funds to these TVETs and even the technical institutes so that people can have life skills. It's not kwenda shule si kupata kazi, lakini kwenda shule ni kupata maarifa, ndiposa hiyo maarifa inaweza kusaidia pia kuishi a better life. It's not all about blue collar jobs.
The government has been emphasizing the need for vocational training among the youths to drive the economic growth along achieving the 2030 Millennium Goal. Boniface Barasa, TV47, Kiminini Sub-County, Trans Nzoia County.
Moving on, the Kenya National Union of Teachers Secretary General Wilson Sossion has been faulted by Bungoma branch leadership over uncertainties of the teachers' affairs in the country. Speaking in Busia town during Arisha Sacco Congress for their savings mentorship, they have threatened to disrupt the system of education if their grievances won't be addressed. Meanwhile, the branch Kupet and NAT leadership stated that the country has prioritized the constitution amendments, neglecting them.
Heads in the sand and saying things are good. Things are not good in Kenya. And it's just because of one man called Sossion who does not have good negotiation skills.
Kwa sasa sisi tunataka chama kirudi. Hatutaki maneno mengine. Kama kuna yeyote ambaye hataki kutufuata sisi chama kirudi, hatapata kura. Lakini yule ambaye ataungana na sisi, na hii sio jambo siri, Sossion ndiye amefanya hiki chama kirudi chini. Na sisi tunaenda kumuondoa. Na yule yeyote ambaye anaturudisha kwa Sossion, hatapata kura.
Sasa sisi hatutaunga serikali hii mkono, haswa kwa mambo ya BBI, iwapo mambo haya yatakwenda, kwa sababu we are not going to be puppets kutumika katika mambo ya BBI ilhali sisi wenyewe tuna njaa.
My friends is not. Mwende kumaliza election, mkae national officials, pesa kubeni wakae national officials, na sisi tuungane, kuseme ya kwamba if you can't give us what is right to us, then we shall not open schools come next term. We shall disrupt the system of education that is running at the moment.
Moving on, Teresia Matayan, who is among a few women in Masailand who mentors young girls and encourages them to pursue their dreams. Matayan overcame a number of challenges to become a football referee. Sharon Baranga reports.
Naitwa Teresia Mataya, natoka Old Roto in Kajiado County. Niliamua kufanya kazi ya referee kwa sababu nimekuwa na passion ya ball ever since nikiwa mdogo. Nilikuwa nacheza football hadi secondary level. Nilipomaliza college kukuja nyumbani hakuna team za wasichana. So once I became a teacher, nikapenda hiyo kazi. Nikaanza kwa primary level. Nilikuwa nina ref Kipsa, nimeref hadi nationals, but sasa tukikuja kwa adults niko kwa county, nimefikisha county leagues, nina ref hadi county leagues. So the challenges zenye niko nazo ama zenye ziliniamusha, ile kitu iliniamusha kufanya kazi ya referee, I just wanted to change ile history ama zile vitu ambazo masaini inaonekana kwamba haiwezekani.
Matayan says her love for football began when she was a young girl.
Nimelelewa kwa nyumba ambayo my elders walikuwa ni boys, so walikuwa the 7 boys. So tulikuwa tunapenda kucheza football. That is the only thing wao wanaweza cheza. Hawezi cheza kati kama wasichana. So hiyo ilinifanya nikapenda. Through my brother Dan, though he's now the late, yeye alifanya nikapenda zaidi football kwa sababu ilikuwa time ikifika jioni anaenda futa, anatafuta vile atanisnikisha twende tuka watch football. Nikienda tuna watch ile wanachapa zoezi na chapa na wao. So hiyo ndilifanya nikapenda football.
When Matayan is not in class teaching, you'll find her in this field in Kajiado County training. She's also a wife and a mother of 3.
Nimekuwa mwalimu for 7 years na for 7 years now, na nimekutana na wasichana wazuri ambao wanacheza mpaka nationals, but all of a sudden wakimaliza high schools wanakuja kukua housewives, wengine wanaenda colleges, wakimaliza wanakuja tu kufanya vitu zingine zenye football kama wangefanya ingewapeleka mbali. Mimi soka imenipeleka mpaka Arusha, that is East Africa competitions za Kipsa, na nikaona ni kitu iko kwa 1 inakupatia leisure, number 2 inakupatia income kwa sababu kila weekend mimi ninaingiza kitu kidogo yenye inaweza letea watoto mboga nyumbani, na number 3 inakukeep fit. Mzee pia hakuwa anapenda, alikuwa anaona ni challenge kubwa, hakuwa anataka niende, but the moment nilienda kuchezesha hiyo nimesema Trans Nzoia, between Trans Nzoia and Kapenguria ambayo tulikuwa kwa regionals. Nilipoenda huko tulilipwa kitu mzuri. So nilikuja nikanunua kondoo 4 na from there nikaona ameanza kupata ile love ya football. Every weekend nikipata game naenda na kakitu nyumbani, na pia ninaona hiyo inamfanya anaona ninaenda job, siendi story nyingine.
Matayan has had to overcome a number of challenges to be where she is.
So hata unaweza chukua flag usikie mtu anakuambia wewe mwanamke umeonea wapi football, unasijui nini, hiyo sio offside. So kuna hiyo changamoto moja, kuna ile abuse ama kuna ile kutokubalika. But for now at least ninaona as we progress, at least sasa Kajiado County wanajua wanawake wanaweza ref football. Another one, tuko na shida na field. Unaona saa zingine unajaribu kukimbia, unaangushwa na vijiti, saa zingine unaona ng'ombe zinaingia kwa ground.
Tuko na wasichana wadogo wako home, wana grow. So most of the times wakionekana wakichezea game kama hizi, wanapata hiyo motivation. Wanaona wenyewe wanaweza make. So ni kitu poa sana ukiona kina dada wakichezesha game za county league.
Teresia tulipatana na yeye case 2018. Nilianza kumuona lakini bado alikuwa chini kidogo. Kuna time hata ulikuwa unapewa game na yeye unaona bado hawezi. Lakini saa hizi vile amegrow, amekuwa mtu unaweza penda kupewa game na yeye. Ni yule referee unajua amegrow. Na pia anasaidia wasichana wenzake, yani the ladies
Tunasema other ladies or other girls within Kajiado County, Masai, tutoke kwa mashinani, tukuje huku nje for exposure. At least tunao hivi vipaji vyetu.
In the Masai community, Matayan has earned a name as one of the mentors who encourages young girls to pursue their dreams. Sharon Baranga, TV 47.